Marcus Aurelius ran the Roman Empire for 19 years. At night, in his tent between barbarian campaigns and plague outbreaks, he wrote a journal. He never meant for anyone to read it. 2,000 years later, it's called Meditations, and it sits on the nightstand of half the CEOs I know. None of them sell like it. Most sales training will tell you to be assertive, confident, aggressive, close harder, push through. Marcus, who negotiated with Parthian kings, managed court politics, kept Rome solvent through 2 pandemics. Marcus would have fired half your sales team by lunch. Not for being too soft, for being too loud. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a philosopher, not a scientist. I run sales organizations for a living. As head of sales at a creator economy firm, I started reading the Stoics on my train commute to work before it was cool. It just made sense. It applied to life, to business, and to sales. The Stoics figured out, a long time ago, how to think clearly under pressure. Sales is pressure. The match is almost too obvious. So, 3 principles, pulled from Marcus, from Epictetus, from Seneca. Each one I've watched change a rep on my team once they understood it. Each one is going to sound simple. None of them are. Let's go. Principle 1. Amor fati. Love what happens. Nietzsche's coined the Latin phrase, but the idea is pure Marcus. Accept the event. Greet it. Do not wish the world were otherwise. Here's how that lands in sales. Every rep I've ever trained has the same first-year problem. They take rejection personally. The prospect ghosts them, and they spiral. The deal dies in procurement, and they grieve it. They check the CRM at midnight like a teenager checking a phone. I get it. I was that rep. But here's the uncomfortable math. The salesperson who fears rejection sells less. Not because fear is bad, fear is information, but a salesperson who fears the no will soften the ask to avoid hearing it. They will propose smaller, they will qualify out of deals that might have closed, they will not push on the terms that matter because they can't risk the silence after. Marcus would say, the no is not the enemy, the no is simply what happened. Your job is not to prevent it, your job is to meet it straight and move. Accept the event, greet it. Do not wish the world were otherwise. The rep who can hear we've decided to go another direction and say calmly, that makes sense. Can I ask what tipped it? That rep sells more, not because they are more aggressive, because they are less afraid. Try this for 1 week. When you get a no, write it down, not to process it emotionally, to log it, like a scientist. No from Acme, reason given was budget, actual reason probably champion change. That's it. No drama, no replay at 2 a.m. You'll notice after a week that the no's stop costing you anything. They become data. That is Amor fati. Principle 2. Memento mori. Remember you die. This one sounds darker than it is. Memento mori is the practice of keeping your mortality visible. Marcus wrote about it constantly. Not to be morbid, to be calibrated. If you remember that you're going to die, you tend to stop wasting the afternoon. In sales, the application is this: every call could be your last call with this person. Not in the dramatic sense, in the practical one, calendars shift. Champions leave, companies get acquired. The prospect who was ready to sign next week is laid off on Thursday, and nobody tells you. The deal you were saving the hard question for, the deal that was so close you didn't want to risk it. That deal died because you assumed you had another meeting. The Stoic salesperson treats every interaction as if it might be the last one. Not with desperation, with care. That means the question you were going to ask next time, ask this time. The concern you were going to raise it. The name you were going to introduce, the CFO, the procurement lead, the technical evaluator, introduce it now. I lost a 6-figure deal last year because I decided to wait on a hard question. The next meeting never happened. The sponsor got reorganized. I never got to ask. That one cost me. It also taught me something. Memento mori for a salesperson is the end of I'll circle back on that. It's the end of the soft close. You do not have infinite calls. You do not have infinite meetings. Act accordingly. Here's a way to practice it. Before every call, write down the one question you're most afraid to ask on the call. Then ask it first. If you do that for a month, two things happen. Your close rate goes up, your calendar gets shorter. Both are good. Principle 3. Premeditatio malorum. The premeditation of evils. This one Seneca wrote about most. The exercise is simple. Before the event, imagine how it goes wrong. Fully, vividly, walk through the disaster. Most sales teams do the opposite. They visualize the win. They build the pipeline review deck assuming everything in commit will close. They rehearse the demo for the version where nobody objects. Then they get surprised. Seneca would say, "Of course you got surprised. You spent no time with the failure. You only spent time with the fantasy." Premeditatio malorum is the premortem. Before the call, before the close, before the QBR, imagine the deal falling apart. What does the prospect say to kill it? Who is the stakeholder we forgot? Which clause in the MSA is going to blow up legal? What is the objection we cannot answer? Do this seriously and two things happen. First, the real call has almost no surprises. You have already thought about the hard version. Second, you show up calmer, because the salesperson who has already mentally lost the deal is the salesperson most free to be honest in the room. Practical version before any deal over a threshold you care about. For me, 25,000 euros, take 10 minutes. Write the death of the deal, not the close, the death. 3 most likely reasons it doesn't close, 3 most likely objections, 3 stakeholders you haven't met yet. Then walk into the call. You will be the calmest person in the room, and calm in a sales negotiation is a kind of power. So, 3 principles: Amor fati, Memento mori, Premeditatio malorum. Love what happens, remember it ends. Rehearse the failure. Here is the lesson you need to internalize. Marcus wrote as a way of working through his weaknesses, of making himself stronger through Stoicism, living up to a standard he had set for himself. That is what Stoicism is. Not for show, but for your inner compass, your inner work, your inner peace in the face of the storm. Just him in a tent, surrounded by his armies, working away on his human virtues. That is the point. Stoicism does not work as performance, it works as practice. It works at 6 in the morning, before the calls start, when you're the only person in the kitchen, and you're trying to remember who you want to be today. The rep who posts a Marcus Aurelius quote on LinkedIn and then gets in a shouting match with a prospect about a 30-day payment term, that rep does not practice Stoicism, they own a t-shirt. The rep who takes the hard no calmly, asks the scary question first, and spends 10 minutes on the premortem before a big call, that rep is practicing it, quietly, where nobody can see. That is the whole game. Oh, I'll see you next week. We're going to talk about Epictetus and the slave philosopher's framework for handling a difficult buyer. Until then, practice in private. That's where it actually counts.